The rhythmic hum of the engine reverberated through the car as I gripped the steering wheel, my fingers clenched around it like a lifeline. The night outside was impenetrable, a thick cloak of darkness that swallowed everything in its path. I had heard tales of eerie occurrences on desolate roads after sunset, but I had always brushed them off as nothing more than urban legends. That was until this fateful night, when a simple drive home plunged me into a chilling enigma that would forever linger in the depths of my mind. The decision to take a shortcut home had seemed harmless enough, a way to save time on my journey. The road snaked through dense woods, a serpentine path that seemed to stretch into infinity. The only companions were the soft glow of my headlights slicing through the inky blackness and the haunting whispers of the wind. As I drove, an odd flicker of movement caught my attention in the rearview mirror. My eyes strained to discern its source, but the impenetrable darkness gave up no secrets. I shook off the feeling of unease, chalking it up to my imagination running wild. Yet despite my attempts to rationalize it, the sensation of being watched gnawed at the edges of my consciousness. A sudden gust of wind swept through the woods, causing the branches of the trees to sway in a ghostly dance. The interplay of light and shadow created strange, distorted shapes on the road ahead, an eerie ballet that set my nerves on edge. I found myself glancing at the shadows, half expecting something, or someone, to emerge from their depths. A shiver ran down my spine as I realized how profoundly alone I was in the heart of this enigmatic darkness. Abruptly, as if mocking my increasing unease, the headlights blinked out. Panic surged through me, my heart pounding like a drumbeat in my chest. My foot instinctively reached for the brake pedal, ready to halt the car as the darkness threatened to engulf me. Just as I was on the precipice of sheer terror, the lights flickered back to life, revealing a figure standing in the center of the road. Instinct took over as I slammed on the brakes, the tires screeching in protest against the sudden halt. My breath caught in my throat as the figure came into focus, illuminated by the headlights. It was a woman, her appearance ethereal and unsettling. Her eyes, vacant and distant, seemed to hold a world of secrets, and she was clad in a tattered dress that fluttered in the wind. The chill that swept over me wasn't merely from the night air. Summoning every ounce of courage, I rolled down the window and called out to her, my voice tinged with concern. I asked if she needed help, if she was lost or in danger. But she remained immobile, as if trapped in some kind of trance, her gaze fixed on something beyond my understanding. A sense of dread settled over me like a shroud as I realized that I was no longer alone in the inky darkness. With a racing heart, I gazed at her form silhouetted against the road, and my blood turned to ice. Emerging from the shadows behind her, a procession of shadowy figures materialized. They stood there, an ominous congregation, their eyes locked on me with an intensity that sent shivers coursing through my body. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end as they began to advance, each step deliberate, each movement deliberate. Terror coursing through my veins, I slammed my foot on the gas pedal, the tires screeching as I lurched forward. The figures dissipated into the night, but the sense of being pursued lingered like a malevolent specter. My thoughts raced, each mile covered increasing my dread. Who were these figures? What were their intentions? Were they even of this world? The road stretched on, a never-ending ribbon of darkness that seemed to taunt me. The canopy of trees whispered secrets, their branches creaking with a ghostly chorus. My knuckles were white as I clung to the steering wheel, determined to escape whatever nightmare had befallen me. Just as the edges of panic threatened to consume me, the woman appeared again, her form shimmering into existence at the edge of the road. Her eyes bore into mine, and I felt as if she was trying to communicate something beyond words. Her lips moved as if she was speaking, but the wind carried away her words like leaves on the breeze. I fought to keep my focus on the road, my mind grappling with reality. Each time I glanced at the figure, she seemed to be closer, her presence an unsettling reminder that I was trapped in some inexplicable dance with the unknown. And then, in an instant, she vanished. The road ahead lay clear, unmarred by shadows or specters. My pulse gradually slowed, a mix of relief and confusion washing over me. Had it all been a figment of my imagination, a concoction of exhaustion and fear? As I pulled into my driveway, the events of the night threatened to slip through my grasp like water through fingers. I attempted to convince myself that it was all a trick of my mind, that the figures and the woman were mere hallucinations born from the dark corners of my psyche. Yet buried deep within, a niggling doubt persisted, a seed of uncertainty that refused to be ignored. From that night forward, I shunned night drives alone, haunted by the memories of those enigmatic figures and the uncanny sensation of being observed. The enigma remained unresolved, an unsettling riddle that reminded me that the shadows held secrets best left undiscovered.